Hey guys.
Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. We just wanted to update you guys on why we have not been making many YouTube videos recently. It's always been a dream of ours to become YouTubers and just be able to make content, and your continued support really means the world.
As most of you know, we haven't been posting as much. We haven't been streaming as much. We actually just visited New Jersey, which is where we're originally from. So we're with our family and our friends, and we decided to stay here longer. One of the main reasons why is because I was recently diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and that has honestly been very difficult on both me and Kayla, and it has been a variation of emotions and been a very difficult time. It's been an adjustment period for me, but it also answers a lot of questions as to why I've been feeling the way I've been feeling. When we first started YouTube, it was for fun. It was because the pandemic hit and we were stuck inside and there was nothing else to do, so we were like, hey, why don't we make YouTube videos? As we grew, we were extremely excited and grateful, but it turned into a job. We stopped gigging and we decided to take on streaming and YouTube full time. As with any full-time job comes a lot of stresses. Is the video getting enough views so that we can be making enough money off of ad revenues to pay for our bills? During streams, are we getting enough donations to be able to afford food? Are we getting enough donations to be able to afford rent? And it was really weighing me down a lot. I was in a very bad place emotionally and mentally. I didn't understand why I was thinking these things to the degree and the level that I was thinking them. Of course, Kayla, I know that you've probably thought about these things before.
Of course. I mean, it's only natural, no matter what job you have, you want to make sure that you're making enough to be able to support yourself. And as musicians, of course, freelancing and those types of jobs can be extremely stressful because you don't have a steady paycheck coming in, you don't have a salary. So it can definitely be stressful. Like you said, it was just kind of on another level for you.
Yeah.
Like to the extreme where it was really hard for you to function every day.
I would go through severe anxiety and panic attacks if I looked at the video and it was doing bad. For those of you who don't know, YouTube in the Studio app, when it shows you the analytics, it ranks your video against the previous 10 videos of yours.
It's constantly ranking your newest video against yourself.
To see that your new video that you just put in the most amount of work you've ever put in, to see a video that we spent a week editing, to see a video that we put out $500 because we were donating to people to not only help them, but to make better content. To see those types of videos do the worst our videos have ever done was really difficult for me in a way that is really even hard to explain. And being diagnosed with bipolar disorder kind of made everything make more sense of why I was obsessing and why I couldn't get these thoughts out of my head, why I couldn't sleep at night, why I was restless, why when I went to go to bed at night, I'd be tossing and turning for hours, thinking about the next video to make, thinking about that we need to edit, what songs we need to do, what new loops we need to come up with, what video ideas to make. Then I would get up out of bed after sitting for 2 to 3 hours, and I would go and work all night and then be exhausted the next morning. And we're making this video because we want you guys to know what we've been going through, what I've been going through. It's been very, very difficult, and I'm currently on medication that has yet to kick in, but hopefully within the next few weeks it will. I'm in a support group for people with bipolar, depression, anxiety. I am journaling, I'm reading, I'm learning, I'm teaching myself about bipolar disorder and how it affects the brain and how it can affect your social life, your work life, your physical life, your mental life, your emotional life. And really this video is to update you guys, but it is more so to tell you guys that if you are struggling with this kind of thing, the best thing you can do is to just come to terms with it and face it head on. And I know that it's a really difficult thing to do, to admit that you have an issue, but we all have issues, you know? Everybody has problems that we go through, and, you know, being alive and being a human is extremely difficult for everyone. And if this video even helps one person go, you know what, I want to get the help that I deserve, then that's served its purpose for this video.
And it took you an extremely long time to be able to get to that point where you said, okay, enough is enough, I need therapy. And then that was like the first step. And then, you know, the next step was the diagnosis and going to a psychiatrist. And, you know, the next steps were how to live your life every day in a healthier way by journaling, researching about your diagnosis, and, like you said, coming to terms with certain things and just understanding yourself in a way that you never have before.
Yeah.
And I'm extremely proud of you for all the work that you've been putting in, because I've never seen somebody work so hard at anything. And when it comes to your own mental health, it is the most important thing. Your health comes before anything else, because without it, you're not able to function. You're not able to get through situations. You're not able to see things clearly.
It's really difficult, especially when you're struggling with something very intense. I don't want to make light of bipolar disorder. There are a lot of people in the United States alone who have it. Roughly 5 to 6% of the people in the US have it, so millions of people in the United States, and I'm sure that number carries across to other countries as well and around the world. But I thought for the longest time that, you know, if I just cut back on the amount of videos or cut back on the amount of time editing, that it would help fix the situation, and that I would not stress as much, I wouldn't worry as much, I wouldn't obsess as much. But really, in order for me to get better, it really requires me to just focus solely on getting my mental health up. And, you know, I've had a lot of worries. I still do. You know, I'm worried that all of the hard stuff that we've worked towards, all of the subscriber counts and the Twitch streams and the views that we had, I just feel like it's all gonna go away, and that we're never gonna get back to where we wanna be. But I gotta just remind myself that that's not the truth. That is just the side of me that is negative. That is the bipolar at its work. If anybody out there is struggling, you can get help. There are things that you can do to help change the way that you think, because it's not okay to think negatively. You don't have to live in fear. You don't have to worry. You don't have to stress. That's something you can change. And for a while, I had so many thoughts in my head and feelings and emotions that I just didn't understand. They were confusing. I didn't know which way was up and which way was down. There'd be many times where I would say to myself, I can look at the views. I can look at them and I'll be fine. I'll be happy with whatever amount of views they are. And then when I look at it and I see that our video's in last place out of the past 20 videos, it kills me inside, and then I'm depressive. And then that night, again, I'm super up and I'm happy and I'm energetic and I'm like, I wanna film. And then when that video comes out, it disappoints me, because I have these unrealistic expectations, or because it's the bipolar having me go super high and then super low. And that's just not something that I can deal with right now. You know, it's very, very, very hard. And this has nothing to do with the amount of appreciation that we have for your support, that I have for your support. I really do appreciate this, and I never thought that we would actually get to this point where YouTube became a full-time job, streaming became a full-time job. It's really amazing. We're gonna leave links to a bunch of self-help books that I have found and that I have read that have made me feel so much better about being able to get better mentally. Doesn't matter if you have bipolar, OCD, borderline personality disorder, anxiety, depression. It doesn't even matter if you don't have any of those and you just think negatively. There are things you can do to feel better. I never thought that I would feel better. I always thought that I would feel the same and that I would never, ever get better, because I didn't know what the problem was. The first step to fixing any issue, the first step to fixing any problem, is to identify the problem. You cannot fix an issue if you don't know what the issue is. And I'm so grateful that I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder because it gave me direction. It gave me a reason as to why I've been feeling the things that I've been feeling, why I had the thoughts I had and the emotions that I had, and why I had the super highs and the super lows. No matter what you struggle with, you can get through it. And we're gonna leave links to some motivational videos, some meditation videos. The description is gonna be full of all things that have helped me personally go from where I was only 3 weeks ago to where I am now. And I've never been more confident in the fact that I am going to get better. And I'm gonna be happy at the place that I wanna be. Because I feel so confident now that I have direction, now that I know what's going on with my brain and inside my body and my emotions and my feelings. For those of you who don't know, bipolar disorder is a disorder where your brain chemistry doesn't balance out properly. And I was just reading this book and it compared it to a thermostat. When you have a thermostat set, say you have it set to 70 degrees. When it goes above 70 degrees, the AC kicks on to put it back to 70 degrees. When it goes below 70 degrees, the furnace goes on to push it back up to 70 degrees. With bipolar disorder, that would be like your thermostat not working properly and the AC coming on when it's already cold, or the furnace coming on when it's already hot. My brain isn't capable of balancing out the chemistry, which is why even the littlest things would set me off during streams, like feeling like I'm focusing so hard on how many people are there, and if they're setting my limitations, saying, oh, if there's not 30 people here, then I'm not going to be happy, and struggling, and that's why we've stopped streaming a lot. It's hard because one day I'll tell myself I'm fine, I'm good, I'm ready to go back, and then the next day it'll feel like I want to quit. I don't want to do it anymore at all. One minute you feel like you have so much energy, I'm talking really fast, and I'm ready to do this, but I can't focus on one thing at a time. I have to do multiple things, and while I'm doing one thing, I'm focusing on another thing. Then I crash, and I become depressed, and I don't want to do any of those things. And it's difficult. It's painful. It's a really hard thing to go through when your job is YouTube, your job is social media. I have had to make some serious life changes, some serious physical changes, lifestyle changes. I limit my time on my phone. The first 2 hours of the day and the last 2 hours of the day, I don't go on my phone. I meditate, I journal, I read. I'm in support group. I take medication. I go to therapy. I'm focusing solely on my mental health, on getting better. I'm grateful that I have Kayla and I have my family here to help me. And they've been a blessing. And I know not everybody has the same luxury. But we want you to know that we are here for you. I am here for you. Kayla is here for you. If you don't have family, if you don't have friends, if you don't have anybody in your corner, we're in your corner. We're here to help. Something that I want to implement is at the end of every YouTube video, we're going to talk a little bit about mental health and about the tools that we've used. So at the end of an Omegle video, we'll do a little sit down like this where we just talk about tools and tips on how you can mentally get better, what you can do to be happy. Same thing with our streams. This has changed my direction of what I want our YouTube to be about. At first, yeah, it was, I want people to be entertained. It still is.
We want to share our passion, which is music.
Yeah.
We've always been in love with music, and we've worked our entire lives on it and have worked on our craft for our whole lives.
Yeah.
And all we've ever wanted was to perform and to share that love with other people and to make them happy. And we were so lucky to be performers for a long time, and then to go on YouTube, I mean, that was always a dream of both of ours.
Since we met.
Before we even met,
yeah.
Individually, we both always dreamed of having a YouTube channel and being able to connect with other people around the world, and now we have that, and that is just absolutely mind-blowing. And all the things that Austin has been struggling with doesn't take away from any of that. It doesn't take away from our passion or his passion and his drive to want to do these things, to make the world a better place through music and to make people happy and to entertain. And I mean, you see how silly he is in all of our videos. He just is himself. That's genuinely how he is in real life. And we just love being goofy. We love making people laugh, and it is like the greatest gift in the world to be able to feel the appreciation for what we do, and all the support that you guys show us does not go unnoticed ever.
Yeah. And when we initially did YouTube, we wanted to entertain people. We wanted to be that YouTube channel that people would go to forget their problems, to forget their issues that they have in their life, so that they can come to us for 15 minutes and be happy. But looking at it, I would do that. I'd go on YouTube and watch a video and go on the TV and watch a movie and have that momentary relief. And then after it's over, I'd have to go back to the struggles and the issues that I have. And this has opened my eyes and really changed our direction. We want our YouTube channel to be advice as well as entertainment on how you can have lasting happiness, on how you can help yourself even when you're not watching our videos. So from now on, we're going to make it a goal to incorporate tools, tips, advice, techniques on how you can go through mental health issues, go through negative thinking, go through your worries and stresses of everyday life, and change the way you think, change the way you feel. Have your body and your mind connected together, working with each other. We are going to be doing a charity Twitch stream where we are going to be donating a portion of the proceeds to the International Bipolar Foundation, because I know what it's like to be going through this, and I would hate for other people to be going through this. So we would love for you to come out and support, and we're going to be sharing our stories, tips, advice on how you can mentally get better, as well as play music. It's going to be interwoven together, and it's going to be about bettering yourself, about helping others. Thank you to everybody who has supported us. I'm going to get better, just like you guys will. For any of you struggling, you're going to get better. You just have to identify what the problem is first, and then face it head on. And that's the best thing I've ever done.
It's been really inspiring to watch. I struggled my first 23, 24 years of life with extreme anxiety, depression, PTSD, derealization, depersonalization, all of those things, never understanding why. Until I met Austin and was diagnosed with epilepsy, and it turns out that most of my issues were because of the onset of epilepsy, which I never would have imagined would be the case. And when I was diagnosed, I had that same feeling of relief, thinking, wow, I'm so grateful that now I finally know, after years and years of going to different doctors, that that's what it was all that time. And Austin watched me go through that process of medication and becoming stable and healthier, and that was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And now I get to be on the other side and support you, and I'm so proud of everything that you're doing, and I know how hard it is to face those things, to face your struggles, and to internalize it in a good way, to be able to process and understand finally what it is that you've been struggling with your whole life. And even though it's scary at first, it's the first step in changing your life forever. And if I can do it, and if Austin can do it, you can absolutely do it.
We'll be here for you guys and show you support that you have shown us. We hope that this video has helped you understand why we haven't been on YouTube. That's not to say that in the future we're not going to be back and better than ever and posting consistently and doing streams consistently, because that's what I want to work towards. But for now, I have to take it at my own pace. We hope that this video has shown you that you can fix the issues that you have in your own head, mentally, emotionally. You can be the person that you've always wanted to be. You can be happy. We're going to leave links and resources to all the things that we can find in the description so that you can check them out and hopefully start making the changes to make yourself happy as soon as possible.
And please leave a comment, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, if it helped you at all in any way, and please make sure to share it because you never know who else it could help.
We'll see you guys soon, and thank you for your support.